So my name is Travis Tucker. I use he and his pronouns, and I serve as the Associate Director for the Center for Diversity and Inclusion. And I am going to allow our first speaker the opportunity to introduce themselves. So Delton, who are you by name and story?
Well, hey, so I'm Delton Reyes III. I use he, him, his pronouns. 20 years old, attending WashU. I'm a rising junior, where I study cognitive neuroscience and Chinese. I'm from St. Louis, born and raised. So I'm very passionate about the St. Louis community, building up neighborhoods and things like that, places where I grew up, making them look nicer. And I like to skateboard in my free time.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Delton. And so as you know, this conversation is really centered around race and really experiences and pathways around that. We know that this is not a monolith, and we know that everyone has a very different experience, but we're here to really talk through your experience to help understand where everyone stands in a sense. Through one person's experience, we can kind of create pathways to other experiences. So can we start in talking around what is your role in supporting a diverse and inclusive community at WashU and then beyond WashU?
So I would say, so my past year, I actually served on, so we have an association of Black students here. I served on it as treasurer. I wanted to do that so I could kind of get in touch with the community here. I felt like my freshman year was a little rocky, so I wasn't as involved. This upcoming year, I plan to be a part of the Black Men's Coalition, just because we've been having a lot happening in the world, and I definitely would like to lend my support there. And then less formally, generally, I reach out to people from diverse backgrounds, people who traditionally don't look like skateboarders to skateboard with me. So we have like a cool skateboarding crew that shows that anybody with any identity can skateboard.
That's what's up. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing.
So
our next question, how do you think your environment, either your hometown or high school, influence your expectations for what WashU would be like around race?
Okay, so I'll be honest, I grew up in predominantly Black neighborhoods, and up until high school, I went to predominantly Black inner city schools. So I got my culture shock in high school. I went to a Catholic, affluent PWI, so WashU wasn't as surprising. I will say though, coming to WashU, I'm actually surprised at how close the Black community is here. It wasn't like that in my high school. So being connected with so many different Black people here is dope. I love it.
I love that. I love that. Could you tell us a little bit about a time that you felt different while you were at Washington University?
Yeah, I would say in the beginning, coming in, I felt a little different for a number of reasons. So even though the Black community is very tight-knit, there aren't many St. Louisans and here at WashU. I would love to see way more, but when I'm more comfortable, I talk in a way where my accent kind of comes out a bit, and it's very noticeable to people that I'm from St. Louis. So it's not like a bad different, but I would say that, you know, being in St. Louis and having a very like prominent like St. Louis accent definitely does make me feel a little weird at times, but in a good way. It's all love.
Yeah, thank you. So could you talk around a time that you felt affirmed in your identities around race on campus?
Oh yeah, most definitely. So I'm a member of the Urban Scholars Program. And so oftentimes I am always affirmed when I walk into the OSP, seeing a group of people who look like me, who are all like just phenomenal students. I often feel affirmed there. Not to mention when I was on ABS, participating in some of the events at ABS, even though I wasn't as involved as I'd like, it was a phenomenal time. Like I came across so many Black people who I don't think I would have met if I wasn't part of ABS. And that was a self-affirming feeling, just seeing so many people around, thriving, living their best lives.
Yeah, we love a thriving moment. We do.
We do.
We do. So one of my last questions for you is, how do you value diversity and inclusion or social justice in your day-to-day life?
Oh man, so I would say the biggest thing for me is constant education. So in high school, I was really big, right? I went to a PWI, and it really wasn't. There was a big disconnect between some of the students, like white students and black students primarily, especially when we had the oh my gosh, the Mike Brown incident,
Yeah.
2014, my freshman year, and then my senior year we had the Jason Stockley verdict come out, and there was a lot of divisions. That was the year Trump got in, so it was a lot happening.
Yeah.
So I've been, I think, passionate about this since high school, but to keep on my toes, I read. So I'm constantly reading new books, learning new things, teaching myself things that I otherwise wouldn't, because it's really easy to lose some of that fervor, to get kind of lackluster when it comes to things like this, and you don't want to lose that because these are matter of people, right?
Yeah.
People's rights and how they feel and stuff. So definitely, I would say constant education.
Right. Wonderful. And this kind of really leads into, because we have a few seconds left, I would love to hear from you maybe some advice that you have, particularly for students that are wanting to learn more, that are maybe of marginalized backgrounds and wanting to engage in community. What do you say for people that are either trying to be good co-conspirators and helping understand kind of around issues around race or racial justice, or on the other hand, conversely, folks that are in community and trying to build community at WashU?
Okay. Yeah. So I would say for people who aren't, who are trying to help, I would say definitely reading, right?
Yeah.
Not using every instance to go and ask like a random black person what they think about something, but going out, learning on your own. And then people who want to build community here, I would say start by looking at the community. So working with people, talking with people, trying to get involved with the St. Louis community. That's a great way to do it. And another piece of advice is if you want a place to start, you can always join my boarding club, talk to me, and we'll get something going together.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, Delton, thank you so much for the conversation. Thank you. We appreciate everything that you've provided. And that's a wrap. Thank you.